Hello and welcome back to MGAM TV, and now we're going to review Injustice: Gods Among Us. John's not here at the moment. He will be back though very shortly. So it was just us two that managed to get hold of a copy and play with some superheroes. So Gods Among Us.
Gods Among Us.
Gods Among Us. What did you think?
For me, not really the best game that you could go out and buy. I'm not a massive fan of the whole one-on-one fighting games. They're the whole sort of Mortal Kombat, button bashing, those sort of ones. Not really my style.
I mean, you can't.
But let me finish. On the flip side, it's not a bad game. It's good to play. It's a bit of a laugh, bit of fun. Love some superheroes. It's always good to have a bit of superheroes in the games.
Yes.
But I wouldn't have it on my prime position on my shelf.
I think because it was DC Universe, it kind of told me a little bit that I didn't know what DC Universe was. I've always liked comics. I proper love Batman. Not Superman so much, as you probably heard in our previous review. But it kind of taught me that I did not know as much as I knew about the franchise.
Surely that's
because
good
there was, I don't know though, because like you get it and you get it. I mean, you get the game, you get home, and you put it in, and you go, right, I know all the Batman characters, and if it weren't for them, I would have been, oh well, this is a bag of shit.
Well, the Superman as well.
Yeah, you can't just have Superman. Okay, well, do you want to come round and play a fighting game? Yeah, you can have Superman. I'll have Superman, but he's in red. Who?
You know Aquaman, you know Green Lantern,
yeah,
you know Green
Aquaman's a knobhead because he lives in the sea.
There
can't
are
fight
plenty
in
of
the
other
sea.
characters though. It's not just Batman and Batman's entourage and some others you've never heard of.
It was pretty much like that.
There are some big names in there other than the Batman.
Like
characters.
Green Lantern.
Superman, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Aquaman.
I mean, Green Lantern's got a ring.
The whole game is based around Superman. How can you say that
The whole game is based around Superman, but basically they just dragged all the Batman characters in to try and pep it up a bit, make it look better.
Yeah, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, I think there was 26 characters to choose from, which don't get me wrong.
Range.
If you got your mates round and you want to have a bit of a beat 'em up session, I think it was great. I think what kind of annoyed me a little bit, which is what Mortal Kombat. Because it was the guys who made the last Mortal Kombat. They do NetherRealm, Ed Boon, his name is. They kind of do this one player where they're trying to do a storyline and you're playing each different character, which brings you in, but because it's so like 1 minute you're fighting with Green Lantern, the next minute you're fighting with Batman, the next minute you're fighting with Raven and Shazam. There's a character in there called Shazam. He's like a little kid, and then he goes Shazam, and then he's this mad nutter. Obviously, comment below and tell me that I'm an idiot because I should know who he is. But you know, I didn't. So I kind of did, but I didn't really care because it's a silly name. But
Flash.
The Flash, yeah, I like the Flash. But like I was saying, you're kind of like thrown into this character, and you've got no time really to learn any of his moves, even though technically they're all kind of the same, down to back forward, and a button. Not button bashing, it's back forward, down to back, up and down. But you can't get into the character because 3 fights later you're on another one.
Yeah.
So technically, is it better to play the game as many times as you can with all different characters and then play the one player?
But the thing is, they're trying to add a good story element to a classic fighting game, and I don't know whether that's actually that feasible to do, because if you were playing the same character all the way through the game, I don't know whether you'd enjoy it as much, because it's good to have the difference. And I mean, you've been saying how the big move that they have in the game, that each character has a big move, but once you've seen it a couple of times, that's exactly so what. If you had the same character all the way through the game, then it would be even more boring in that respect.
I mean, I mean, you've got Batman, and his big move is left trigger, right trigger. Once you've got your power bar up, and he runs over, tases them. I think he headbutts them and knees them, and something else. Then he does this nice slow motion backflip over the Batmobile, which runs them over. And your first time you see it, you're like, wow, brilliant. Makes you feel powerful, makes you feel slightly superheroic.
Super
heroic. But then when you've done it the 30th time, I kind of got to the point where I was like, I can't be arsed watching this move again. I'm not going to do this super move that takes half their energy down because I can't be arsed to watch it again. I mean, Superman's hits them into the air, flies up into space, hits them back down, and they fall down to the ground. And the thing that really winds me up with Mortal Kombat and all these... I mean, don't get me wrong, the previous Mortal Kombat game was brilliant. I loved the one player and I loved everything. The fatalities is cracking. The thing I'll do it with this. Thing I hate with it, right? You got him here and you knock him out and you do big moves. So he's in space. Imagine him in space. Superman's here, hits him back down to ground. They go down through space, through all the buildings, land on the ground, and obviously he's won the round because health bar is all the way down. Yeah. Then he goes back up and back down like that.
Yeah, I know.
And he goes, "You win," and it's like, well, I'm sorry, but he does it all the time. Yeah. And when they die. On this one, and obviously on Mortal Kombat, they die. They die. They don't die. Sorry, kids. They just get knocked out. Well, you shouldn't really play fighting games anyway. So they're lying on the floor, not with his cape like that. Basically, they don't lie on the floor. They kind of go onto this sort of, I'm not quite down, but I'm kind of down. Yeah. But obviously, I live to fight another day.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it?
Sorry
to show
for the
that they're not
boom of
they're not completely destroyed, that they've still got that fight in them.
Which annoys me with superheroes. Why can't superheroes kill each other? Just kill them. Be done with them. But yeah, that was the only point that really wound me up. Is that I liked a bit of everything. I love the big moves. I like the specials. It was a bit simple at times, but a bit difficult at other times, and it had loads of extras for multiplayer and replayability per usual. Loads of collectibles, a ridiculous amounts of options within the fighting game, such as do you want to fight me, but I've only got 25% health. Can I fight you? You can have 25% health, which is completely pointless. But if you're an achievement whore, then you probably are going to go and
want your gamer points.
Yeah, gamer points. Then you're going to keep playing it. But anyway, give me a score and what you thought.
Overall score of 60, in my opinion. Not the best, as I said, because I don't really like these sort of games. But out of these sort of games, probably my favourite. Like the whole superhero storyline didn't really enjoy. Very difficult to follow at times because it's one universe versus another universe. The same
which
characters,
I liked.
Which to me at times you're like, which character is the bad one and which is the good one?
She couldn't tell because one minute Batman's wearing black and grey and you're kind of like, I don't know who. Yeah, but that's what they do. Yeah. If you're a proper DC fan, you'd be all over it with the storyline. I put slightly annoying at times, but still enjoyed the comic romp.
Oh, very nice.
I gave it 79. So that gives us an MGAM score of 70, and that's bronze. So go out, rent it, and then throw it off a cliff.